Hello everyone, I am Erika of BEADIngschool.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone. Beaders from all around the world meet every week and I bring a new design for you for all workshops of No One Has to Bead Alone. So I am really looking forward to today to bead with you the newest motif that I made specifically for you, the Marguerite earrings. And I see Katy joining, and Kata, and Elena is here, and Zuzi, and Marianske. Welcome, ladies. Today, you can watch No One Has to Bead Alone from my Facebook page, Beading School by Erika Sándor, and you can also watch it from the Seed Beads and More group, one of the biggest online beading communities. And Cheryl joined us, and Chantal, Tanya, Belinda, and Faye is also here, Julie. If you are watching from the Seed Beads and More group, then you might want to find the first comment that I have just posted. Due to the limitations of my broadcasting program, if you want me to see your name and so I can greet you like, hi Marian, and hi Deb, and hello Mette, then you need to enable my broadcasting program to see your name and to see your face. And I see Ludka and Elinor. Welcome, ladies. In May, I have the honor and pleasure of being the guest teacher of the Seed Beads and More group. And after learning the basics of bead embroidery together last year exactly at the same time, also in May, this time we are moving forward with our bead embroidery skills, and I bring you a series of workshops on the theme creative bead embroidery. And last week this week on Monday, I have posted the second lesson, the Moonlight Sonata earrings that I am wearing now, both of them. Well, one pair of earrings, from two motifs. And I have already seen some very, very pretty results. And it's super nice to see that not everyone is making a question-shaped earring like I did, but you are going towards all kinds of different shapes. I have seen already a flower, I have seen a star, and I'm really looking forward to seeing even more. I see Corinne here, Veronka is here, Gunel. Then we have a Facebook user friend from Wisconsin, Teresa is here, Annie, Anne, Bonnie is here. Good afternoon and good evening to everyone in Europe and in Australia and New Zealand, Faye, and good morning to all the beaders from America. So today we are going to bead together the earring that you see on the picture next to me. And it's called the Marguerite earring. And well, on one hand, it was inspired by flowers, and on the other hand, it was inspired by all the PRECIOSA BICONE beads that I have lately on my bead mat. And you might know that I am actually a very, very bad gardener. So this is the only kind of flower that stays alive with me and doesn't go dry. So I am very happy that I can bead some colorful flowers at least instead of growing them. But today I would like to hear all about your gardening skills and favorite flowers and so on, and if you are inspired by flowers. In the meanwhile, Christine joined us, Brit Marie. Marian says, beautiful earrings. I am still working on a moon-shaped pendant. I am curious, Marian. I always love your beautiful romantic pieces. Liv is here. Marielle, Petra, Anniko, Katja, Shirley, Kirsten, and Ginny. Welcome, ladies. If I haven't said your name, then also welcome, and I'm really happy that you are here, but I don't see your name, and you have to enable the program to see your name. So, let's see, what do we need for today? We will need some, let's do the material check together. So, we will need some GEMDUO beads, and the color that you see in my sample piece, it's actually one of my late favorites, and it's called Gold Splash Opaque Turquoise. And then you will also need 4mm BICONE beads, 1 or 2 colors, depending on what you like. I have used 2 colors, so in the gaps between the outside holes of the GEMDUO beads, I have used Crystal Aurum, and then I have used some more BICONE beads, also 4mm, also Preciosa, and I have used Chrysolite Opal 2 times AB. And besides these beads, you will need round 15 seed beads, and you will need DELICA 11s, MIYUKI DELICA 11s. Both of the seed beads I have used in 2 different colors, so 2 colors of round 15 seed beads, 2 colors of MIYUKI DELICA 11s, but that's completely up to you if you would like to keep it simple or give it even more colors. And then up to you if you want a drop or not, a tassel, or whatever hanging part, because there are many possibilities, as we have been talking about it on Tuesday during coffee time with Erika. And let me see what you wrote in the meanwhile. Susie says, love seeing new beading friends joining us. Me too. It's always a pleasure to see also new faces and admiring then their creations. And Shirley says, I am very inspired by flowers. I have a somewhat brown thumb, but I'm trying hard to learn more this year. Tanya says, I love flowers. Before I had my health problems, I enjoyed gardening. And Kathy says, I don't have a green thumb either. My favorite is the daisy. You know what, Kathy? I will tell you something. When I beaded this motif, then I was actually hesitating if I should name it Daisy or Marguerite. And then for some reason, I decided for Marguerite. But it could be both, I think. Hello, Lynn. Good to see you. Ginny says, I am very inspired by flowers. I am always digging in the dirt. It has been cramping my beading time. And Katy says, I don't have green fingers at all, but I love hortensias and wildflowers like poppies, and as we call them in Dutch, vergeet-me-nietjes. Forget-me-nots. Yeah, it's forget-me-not in English. I actually have a tutorial with the name Forget-me-not. It's a basic peyote basil tutorial. And Kata says, I love gardening. Just started this season. It's late, but it was cold. And I am an orchid fantasist, have quite many species. And I was lucky to see Kata's beautiful garden in her little greenhouse on her balcony. And I can say you are very good with flowers. Veronka says, I have to admit, I kind of did it when my older was at kindergarten with the tutorial from your page. Those tutorials are great. Oh, Veronka, I'm so happy that it helped you. Show me later your forget-me-nots. Marianska says, I don't have a garden, but I have some herbs growing in the kitchen, in a pot, of course, and some veggies in pots on the balcony. I have the same garden nowadays too. A little balcony with some very dry flowers and then some flowers in the kitchen. Cheryl says, I used to love growing my own edibles. I can't anymore, but fruits, vegetables, and some other bits and bobs. Martine is here. Kim is here also. Welcome. Kim says, hi ladies, I can't stay but a minute. Wanted to say hi. Enjoy your time together. I will watch over the weekend. Julie loves carnations and can grow wonderful vegetables. Oh, Ginny says, I wish you were all nearby so we could share plans. That would be sweet. Connie is here. Sharon is here. Eleanor is working on her new earrings. A flower, a bluebell. Earring, it's a pendant if I remember it well, right? And a pretty big flower. Miriam is here. Susie says, we are growing some in mom's garden and also our balconies. Christina, hello. Susie is asking, Erika, how is your olive tree doing? Olive tree doing? Dry? I think I saw it alive at some of your pictures in background. It's alive. The olive tree is alive. It's still inside in the living room as it's pretty cold these days still, but during the weekend I plan to move it out on the balcony. That one is not dry. Susan is here. Deb has lots of flowers. And Gunel also has a garden. Joyce says, hi Erika, I'm using your boxes for most of my components. Oh, Joyce, I'm so happy that you like them. I'm also lately focusing on those components. We had another, you might have noticed that I love boxes and curated selections and special deals in boxes. And a little bit earlier this year, we had a component box with very, very fancy components, including the ones that I have used for the Moonlight Sonata and the ones that I have used for today's earrings. And I'm really happy that Joyce is enjoying them. Hi, Kay. Hi, Claire. Sharon says, I absolutely do not have a green thumb. I managed to kill air fern, so need something that will live despite my care. I have some carpet roses and stargazer lilies. The hyacinths have come and gone. It's the two of us, Sharon. I kill even cacti. It happens sometimes. And let's move on to our beads. And just to mention, we have again a special box which is full of beautiful cup chains like this on the picture, and you can find them on beadingschool.com, and we will have them available for a super good price until Tuesday or until they are gone. And make sure to check them out. They are good. So, hello, Carol. And Lynn also has a great vegetable garden. And let's move on to our beads finally. I hope you prepared already everything. I have everything here on my bead mat, and I am going to continue with the same colors that I have beaded the sample with, this yellow and green colorway. And let's start beading. As always, you can download the printable file from beadingschool.com/no-one-has-to-bead-alone/ I have just posted the link, and you can also find the file in the Seed Beads and More group. So you can print it and save it to your computer. Thank you, Tanya. I muted one of my many microphones. So let's get started. Let me know if the voice, if the sound is okay now. It should be okay. So let's get started. As always, I am working. Okay, I'm great. It's all right. So I am working with my favorite beading thread, 0.12 mm FIRELINE or 4LB for those of you who live in America. I work with a comfortable length, what is about a wingspan for me, and I use the black satin color. And I start by picking up six pieces of GEMDUO beads. And I always leave a tail of about 10 to 12 centimeters or 5-6 inches that I will secure and trim later. And please always take a look at the second hole of the 2-hole beads that you are using to make sure that they are not clogged, because that can happen sometimes and it is a pretty unpleasant surprise. And one more thing, if this is your first time using GEMDUO beads, then they have a flat side and they have a bumpy side, so please make sure that all the bumpy sides are facing the top of your pendant. And I will always stop for a second to see if you have any questions, and I really appreciate it if you keep me updated. How is it going? It's very nice for me to see, to read that it is going all right. Please let me know if you could download the pattern, if it printed out all right for you, if you understand the steps. Just please keep me in the loop. I love to see your progress. So after I picked up my 6 GEMDUO beads, then I tie a knot to join them into a circle. And then I bead through the inside holes, the first holes of the GEMDUO beads one more time. And Manuela joined us. Welcome, Manuela. Always nice to see you. So I am moving all around through my beads. Repeating the thread path will help me with tension. And when I bead it all around through my beads, then I go through the first bead for a third time, and then I turn to the opposite direction by beading through the outside, the open hole of the same bead that I am exiting. So this is how it looks like at the moment. It looks like a little star, and that will be the middle of my flower. And I take a sip of coffee. Somebody's saying a whole year. Oh my god, Claire says, that's amazing. Who is doing what for 1 year? I'm curious. You mean my olive tree is alive for a year? That's indeed a big success for me, if that's what you've had on your mind. So now that I have the little star, I am going to connect the outside holes, the open holes of my GEMDUO beads. I pick up a size 15 seed bead in my first color. I pick up a BICONE bead in my first color and another size 15. So for me, it's the bronze, metallic bronze MIYUKI with crystal orm PRECIOSA BICONE beads. I don't see comments at the moment. Please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, just so I know that it's all right. And I am beading all around my motif, and I always add the same combination of beads between the open holes of my GEMDUO beads. So always size 15 BICONE bead and another size 15. Thank you so much, Tanya. Okay, Cheryl says, we are all okay, just being industrious. Sandra, hi Sandra. Wonderful. So, it's funny with my experience with gardening and with flowers, because as I told you, I am really, really bad at gardening, even with like simple plants. And that's despite the fact that I grew up in the countryside in a house together with my grandparents, where we had a huge garden and we grew all kinds of vegetables, and I was helping them all the time with those vegetables. And still, it seems like nothing stuck from gardening. Even when someone said, like, you should get some cacti, for sure you can't kill those. I can. So, Yvette is here. Welcome. So, what kind of flower are you beading today? Does it remind you in your colors of a specific flower? Or is it just you put together some beads and let's see what it will become? Because it would be also, I think, if we put it in pink, then it would be a beautiful cherry flower. And there are many, many possibilities. And Tanya says, as you all know, Kathy and I are sisters. I have green fingers, Kathy doesn't. That's a huge difference between us. We have the same with Yvette. She's actually good at gardening. She has a garden, right? Big sister. But I am very, very, very bad with gardening. So, in step 3, when I have added all the round 15 BICONE, round 15 combinations between my GEMDUO beads, then I want to finish by beading through one of these new groups of beads, preferably not the first one, because when I start to add even more beads, then the thread tension, how I am pulling my thread, it could deform the shape if I start to add more beads right after the first new section. And now, exiting around 15, BICONE round 15 combination, I pick up 3 MIYUKI DELICA 11 beads And then I bead through a round 15 and a bicone bead. And before I would move on through the following round 15 and so on, I pick up 2 pieces of bicone beads from the second color, and then I bead through the bicone bead that I am exiting one more time. So I created a little triangle from the 3 bicone beads, while the base of the triangle is the bicone already attached between the GEMDUO beads, and then the next 2, they are the 2 other sides of the triangle. And then after picking up these 2 bicone beads, I bead through a round 15. So I am again with my thread is hanging towards a GEMDUO bead again. So I can continue repeating the same. I pick up 3 MIYUKI DELICA 11 beads. I bead through a round 15 and a bicone bead. And then I pick up 2 bicone beads. I bead through the bicone that I am exiting, and then I continue through the next round 15, so I can continue adding groups of 3 MIYUKI DELICAs over the GEMDUO beads. And let's see, I'm curious about your colors and if you were thinking about a specific flower. Veronka says, it reminds me of a star. So I was beading a star to add to use with my Moonlight Sonata in process. Veronka, that's a wonderful idea. And you know, ladies, that's why I thought that that including the No One Has to Bead Alone designs in our creative bead embroidery series, it will be helpful to you, because you can use these kinds of simple motifs, quick motifs, to in your bigger jewels, for example, in your bead embroidery. The next tutorial that I am going to post for you on Monday, the bloom bracelet, where I am showing you how can you make a cuff bracelet on a metal base. Then I made it by joining some of the bloom motifs that we beaded earlier this year during No One Has to Bead Alone. So these are very, very handy, these small motifs, to be included in your bigger creations. And Katie is also the younger sister, so it might happen, I think, that the younger sisters are not good at gardening. And Tanya says, first, Katie and I talked about using the colors of a daisy Marguerite for this. Is daisy and Marguerite the same thing? If you say yes, then I am that bad at gardening that I didn't even know that. I imagined 2 different flowers for daisy and Marguerite for this earring, but my colors all come from the firebox. I'm curious, Tanya. Katie is very happy with the colors she chose. Sarah is here. Welcome. Lynn says, some of my favorite flowers are edible flowers. Nasturtiums, borage, and even pansies are also beautiful in a salad. Great way to celebrate spring. Indeed. I have seen edible flowers, but I have never tried them. I'm very curious. Elena says, between me and my younger sister, I have a green finger and she doesn't. Seeing what the others do bright, does it mean that the older sisters and brothers take it all? I think so. I think so. Right, Yvette? You are good at gardening. Faye says, I have gone with blues and a very bright pink with silver delicas and chartreuse delicas at the tip. I think the DELICA's additive, that can really make the design pop. That was a good decision, Faye. And Yvette says, no, I have our mom close by and she helps. I can't remember that much from childhood experiences from the garden neither, strangely enough. Okay, so you have help. That explains. Tanya says, Erika, I won 2 bags of super duos from you a few years ago by entering a giveaway. I had to write a short piece about super duos. Myself and another person won. It was fantastic, very exciting. Thank you. I remember that, Tanya. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Actually, this month in May, we are having giveaways every Saturday to Tuesday. So we had already 2 giveaways in this month. And during the first okay, I don't know if you saw what happened, but I pushed the needle under my fingernail. Okay, so in May, we are having a giveaway every Saturday. And during the first giveaway, 2 lucky bidders could win 50 euros worth gift cards to be used at beadingschool.com. And then last week, 2 lucky bidders won, each of them one of our PRECIOSA crystal and pearl boxes. And tomorrow, another giveaway is coming. We are celebrating the change from the storytelling jeweler to beadingschool.com by Erika. And tomorrow, another giveaway is coming. So stay tuned. And I will be happy if you enter again. And Claire says about margaritas and about daisies, same plant family, I think. And Tanya says daisy is a version of the marguerite. Okay, so I was not completely confused. Gunnar is the big sister in her case, and she's not good at gardening, she says. So it's not a rule. Oh, Carolina, hi. Shirley says, my GEMDUOs are backlit pink mist. Bicones are amethyst and crystal silver night AB 2 times. The overall feel is bright and sparkly pink. I'm curious, Shirley. And Tanya says, I'm still in 7th heaven and a little bit in shock that I won a Preciosa box. I'm so happy for you, Tanya. Sarah says, I used to have lots of flowers, but no longer. I kill every plant I get, and with 3 cats, I just choose to not have flowers because I don't know which flowers are toxic and not for cats. That's a very wise decision, I think. And Claire won one of the gift cards together with one of her friends. And she says, I keep changing my mind about what I want to buy with my gift card. Oh, I love bringing this Christmas feeling to you ladies. And Ginny is asking about the drawing. Well, every week it's something different. So sometimes you have to write a comment. Last week you had to write a review, but it's always something else. And truth to be told, I haven't made up my mind yet about tomorrow's giveaway. For sure, I will post it on my Facebook page, Beading School by Erika, and I will share it with you in the Seed Beads and More group. But I'm not 100% sure yet that what can you win, and that how can you win it. So if you have something on your mind that what would make you happy, this is the time to influence me. What would you like to win tomorrow? Kata says, I am using Marguerite colors. Very happy with the results so far. You are good with gardening with your beads and in real life. Oh, Sarah won recently a giveaway from PRECIOSA. Congratulations. Ginny says, my youngest sister has about 300 iris blooms along her house. Just gorgeous. That must be so, so, so beautiful. Veronka says, I used blue and gold and went with super duos instead of gem duos. You are such a brave lady, Veronka. Like, Veronka started to bead, I have to say, Veronka started to bead only a couple of weeks ago. And she already posted a beautiful bead embroidered pendant that was a gift for her mom on Mother's Day. And she's going really well. And I'm curious about the super duos. And please share with us your experience, that how is it working out with the super duos, if you had to modify the pattern somehow. We all love like sharing knowledge and experience, so thank you if you do that, Veronka. Kristen joined us, and 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐄𝐄. Cheryl has a very good idea for the giveaway. She says, I think anyone with the name Cheryl should win a €1 billion voucher. I love your creativity, Cheryl. We will discuss it with the team. Marianska says, I think I have green fingers. In elementary school, I won first prize. We all got 2 plants to take home, and after a certain amount of time, we had to bring them back to see who had the biggest, most beautiful ones. What a nice task. I like it. And congrats. Kata wants to win cookies by Lenka. Oh, all the Cheryls and Sarahs should win $1 billion. Kata wants lifetime supply. And oh, Yvette is asking from Marianska, did you bring back the same flowers? Elena says, I use tropical mint GEMDUOs and my BICONEs are from the PRECIOSA boxes. Smoked topaz AB 2 times and crazily topaz. I am very happy with my choice. So you also went for natural tones, Elena. I am curious about your flower. Zuzi says workshop voucher. Veronka would like a surprise. Tanya says, I would love to win your earrings. Tanya, I don't want to disappoint you, but I already love them so much that I'm not going to give this away. I'm sorry. No, I love them. You have to make your own. I posted the tutorial. Ginny says, I'm impressed that many schools around here are teaching gardening to the students. It's a great life skill and very relaxing, I think. Marianska wants Beadingschool shirts. And let's move on to the next step. Probably you already have 2 pairs of earrings and I'm on step 4. Who cares? I'm having fun. And I still not tore my thread like last week, so I really hope I will finish a nice pair of earrings today. I will switch off the logo because it's interfering with the illustration. So now that I have added all my BICONE beads and all the trios of MIYUKI DELICA. Now I'm exiting an aurum BICONE, the BICONE between the GEMDUOs. I continue through around 15. I continue through 3 pieces of MIYUKI DELICAs that are over a GEMDUO bead. Then I don't bead through the round 15, but I bead directly through the first BICONE bead that I've added in the previous step. And now I add a DELICA bead in between the BICONes. I continue through the second BICONE from the same pair, and now I will continue without beading through the round 15s, just beading through the trios of MIYUKI DELICA, and then beading directly into a BICONE, adding a DELICA, and then continue through a BICONE and 3 DELICAs, and so on. So this is how I bead all around. Please let me know, besides sharing your wishes with me, please let me know, how is it going with your beading today? Or did I distract you with the possibilities to influence tomorrow's giveaway? Joyce turned off the sound. Check the little sound icon on your computer. I hope the others can hear me. Okay, Joyce fixed it with coffee. Tanya says, T-shirt, notebook, tote bag, so that we are really beating school students. That's a great idea, Tanya. I think that for now, like, unfortunately now we can't make this happen because we are waiting for more tote bags and we are waiting for T-shirts and we are waiting for notebooks. We gave away everything that we had during the switching to beading school week. So we don't have any more of those left at the moment, but I know that Yvette is working on the project to get more of those. So then we can have a giveaway for those too. Cheryl says, mine is slightly wobbly after step 4, but I think it might be okay later. It will get a lot better, Cheryl, when you add the seed beads around the BICONE beads. Faye says, I love my motif. It has turned out so pretty. Oh, I'm happy. What do you make it into? Earrings, pendant, bracelet. And Yo-Yo is here. Yo-Yo says, I've been gardening all day, so just watching today. You can continue gardening with your beads later when you took a nice rest. And then you can bead your own little flower. What's in your garden, Yo-Yo? Is it flowers or vegetables? Okay, I see. Gunnar says, Preciosa boxes, why not them for to win? Because we had them last week. I would like to have something else this week. We had Preciosa boxes last week. Faye will make earrings, by the way. And talking about creations and what you all bead, every month in the Beading School Club, we have a little challenge. And this month, the challenge is to go big and to include one of the motifs that you bead during a Friday workshop into a bigger creation. you can maybe combine several different motifs, or you can maybe add the motif into your bead embroidery. But the task is to start thinking about how to expand it, how to make a whole construction, how to make it work so it's technically also all right, that the colors work, that the structure, it's all coming together. You know, these kinds of exercises, just as last year, they might be a good preparation for a big challenge that is coming. Do you remember what was our biggest challenge last year? Those of you who are already beading together for more than a year, do you remember what was the biggest challenge we had last year? Gunal is using forget-me-not colors. And Yo-Yo says, I got mostly flowers, lots of tulips now, and peonies coming shortly. Those are so beautiful. Also work a lot in my herb garden. So much fun, and it's just outside my beading studio. That must be really nice, Yo-Yo. I also love herbs. I keep them alive for a month and then they die. Faces. What about a metal component box, like filigrees and brooch bags, findings, and earring wires? That sounds like a good idea. Liv is also dreaming about L2 Studio cabochons. Tanya is asking, a contest again? Maybe a competition? Cheryl says, beading competition, I loved it. Kata, Petra, Elena also thinking about the contest. Elena says, was it contest? Of course, it's in my heart. I remember it as it just happened. Well, you know, even I also have the feeling as if it just happened. It was such a busy year, but maybe it's time to challenge ourselves again, like big time. So stay tuned, ladies. And back to beading. I want to finish step 4 by beading through the first group of beads and then stopping after beading through a delica in the middle of the group of 3. And now I will add seed beads. So in step 5, I am exiting the delica here that is in the middle of a group. I pick up around 15 seed bead. I pick up 3 pieces of MIYUKI delicas. I pick up 1 more round 15 seed bead, and then I bead through the delica between the 2 BICONE beads that I have just added. And now, exactly the same, I pick up around 15, I pick up 3 pieces of MIYUKI Delica 11 beads, I pick up 1 more round 15, and then I bead through a delica in the middle of a group. So this is how it looks like at the moment, and this is how I want to bead all around my motif, always adding the same group of seed beads over the BICONE beads. So round 15, 3 delica beads, another round 15, Verle is here also. Welcome, Verle. Are you beading with us today or just listening? since you have so many different ideas for what you would like to win tomorrow, then maybe a gift card will be a good solution. So whatever it's, you can decide that what makes you happy. If you would like some components, if you would like L2 Studio cabochons, then maybe a gift card is what would be the best solution. Adding the groups of my seed beads. And going all around my motif. Let me know, ladies, how is it going? If you are already beading the third motif. By the way, even if I'm not good at gardening, tomorrow I would like to get rid of the dry plants from last year from my balcony. Does it count as gardening? I hope so. Verle likes the tutorial. Kata thinks that a gift card is great. Oh. Faith says, gift card is a wonderful prize. We would be like kids in a candy store. Miriam says, not the third, but finish the pair. And Annie is asking, just wondering if it's possible to bead with cup chain. I ordered the once-in-a-lifetime cup chain box. Thank you so much for your order, Annie. And indeed, you can not only include cup chain in your bead embroidery, but also in your bead weaving. It's a bit trickier than including it in your embroidery because you have to create a base where you will attach your cup chain. The easiest way, how I found it, that it's the simplest way of including cup chain in your bead weaving, if you don't have a fabric foundation, is to create a piece of peyote, and then you can sew down the cup chain to the peyote. So then it can hang from your earring. Here I actually also have a part of, well, okay, this is not peyote, this is brick stitch. But I attached the cup chain to my beads, not to my foundation. So it's absolutely possible. And thank you for your order, Annie. We have some more left. If someone is interested, it's a super nice offer for cup chains. And it is a deal that will not be available again. The latest on Tuesday, if we have anything left, then it will go away. We might have a rhinestone chain box available in the future, but for sure it will be for a significantly higher price. And Verla likes the earrings. And you will be weeding your garden. Indeed, the problem is that 100% of the garden needs weeding, that there is not really a plant that can stay. Okay, there is some mint, but nothing else. And now, step 6, I have added seed beads all around the motif, and now I am adding the points from the second color of DELICA. And for me, this is what really makes the motif pop. Here I included this bright yellow bead, and I am super happy with how it turned out. I felt like it is a brave choice, that it's not really logical to go with this bright yellow, but I am very, very happy with how it turned out. So I am now exiting seed beads that I have added during the past step. So I am exiting the group of round 15, 3 DELICA beads and another round 15. And now I pick up a DELICA bead, I pick up another round 15 and another DELICA bead, and after adding these 3, I bead through round 15 and 3 DELICA beads and another round 15. So when I pull my thread, then I want to arrange my new beads into this pointy V shape to be like really the point at the end of a petal. And here I am I skip the DELICA bead between the 2 new groups, and I go directly into round 15, 3 DELICA beads and 1 more round 15. And then again I pick up DELICA, round 15 and another DELICA. And this is how I bead all around the motif. Susie, thank you for posting the link. And Shirley has a good idea. I think this would be beautiful on a cuff as a motif. And I have to agree, Shirley. I think it could be a beautiful focal component, because in the cuff that I am going to show you next week, you can decide that if you would like to have only one focal component, or if you would like to have a whole series, a whole sequence of motifs attached to each other. So it's very, very possible that you add a flower like this to the middle, or even more, completely up to you. And Susie says, I was thinking about that, Shirley, for next week's cuff project. I am really, really curious, ladies, that how do you make your own, what kind of jewels do you bead during this special month with the embroidery themes? I love bead weaving, but I have to say that bead embroidery is really special for me, because it is just a very freeing experience that you can do whatever you would like. The foundation, the fabric, and now even the metal cuff that we include in the middle of the bracelet, they give you the necessary sturdiness, so then you can put on top whatever you like. And you know, when we are making a bead woven motif, sometimes I get a question like, oh, can I substitute this bead for that bead. And every time I have to say, like, you have to try it on your own. You have to experiment. I don't know. Until you don't try, you don't know. So with bead weaving, it is very strict that what can you use and what you can't use. A specific motif works with those specific beads that we have tried. And in bead embroidery, I can say when I get a question like, can I substitute this for this? Can I include another motif on top of the bracelet? Absolutely. You can do anything. So I think that's why it's a wonderful technique. And Miriam says, I started the moon earrings in pink. I'm very curious about that, Miriam. Do you include also cup chain and cabochons, or do you keep it with seed beads? Because that's also something that you can decide that you can include bigger beads, smaller beads. You can make it with cup chain, without cup chain. It's completely up to you. And Tanya says, about the gift, why don't you put together a bead embroidery box for dummies in the bead embroidery like me? You know, Tanya, I was thinking about it and I wanted to leave it for the last week of May for the last giveaway. So let's see what happens. And I would be really happy if you gave it a try with bead embroidery. And Shirley says, I use Toho treasures instead of Delicas for the B Delica and the Toho 15 for one of the 15s that I needed. Thank you, Shirley. Miriam has the idea of cabochons, cup chains, and navets. Sarah says, I love bead embroidery, but I lost my mojo, I think. No ideas. Maybe I will bead tiny moonlight sonata earrings because my other becomes a pendant. I love the shape of a half moon. Sarah, first of all, I have to say that this feeling that we lost our mojo, it happens all the time with creative things, I think. I hear it very often from beaders, and I have experienced it myself like a couple of times since I started with beading. And I think what is really important in cases when this happens, also I would love to hear it if other beaders share their experience. But for me, what worked is like not pushing myself. Even when I felt like I lost my mojo for bead weaving and everyone is beading beautiful pieces, what worked for me is to like just take a step back and maybe try something else for a while, but not pushing myself. Sometimes then I saw like new kind of material that inspired me, or I started to have like, withdrawing symptoms, and then I went back to bead weaving and then it was somehow back. But pushing myself, it never ever helped. And also like doing something completely different, not even creative, but taking a walk. I would normally suggest going to a museum. I don't know if they are open in Sweden. Here we don't have them open in the Netherlands, unfortunately. But usually that's also something what works very well for me. And I really hope that sooner or later, and I'm sure it will happen, that your mojo will be back. You make beautiful bead embroidered pieces. Kata also likes Tanya's idea. Gisela loves bead embroidery. Ginny says, I am making a set with attitude to help myself get good at bezeling rivolis before I do the half moon. That's a good idea, Ginny. And hi, Reinhilde. Faye says, I have just finished my first traveler. Bead embroidery is very new to me, so I am not used to free thinking. It is something I will have to work on. It definitely is a process. And you know, Faye, it's interesting how our minds work. Like, I can't go freeform, for example. I see many beaders, Lynn, for example, who is with us today. She loves freeform, but even if I like the freedom in bead embroidery, I can't go freeform. It still has to have a structure. I am able to go asymmetrical, but still I can't just let it go. So it might be very different for each one of us. I'm showing you my coffee today. I sometimes forget that I have a second camera. Okay, my motif is done anyway. Here is also my espresso. And Cheryl also says, Sarah, you are a fantastic beader. I hope the mojo comes back soon to you. And Cheryl says, also, yes, I have lost my mojo. I either do another craft or do a simple bead project. Often it's when I have too many ideas to deal with them in my head and the brain just stops and says no. Indeed, that's a very good addition to the discussion, Cheryl, because our brains, even if we enjoy the process, even if we all love beading, that's why we are here, our brain goes tired if we are using it for the same thing over and over again. We have to give it a rest, we do something else, and then we can return later. Meta says, I think I will attach my Marguerite on a pillbox. I'm curious, Meta. And Kata says, freeform is far from me also. Embroidery is still a challenge, but I take some time and do it when I feel for doing it. And I agree with Kata that doing embroidery, it requires a special mindset of like being able to accept all the crazy ideas and then being able to accept. I find that I rip my beadwork apart a lot more often with embroidery than with bead weaving. But I have to keep it on my mind that all the mistakes that I make, I don't even like to call them mistakes. I like to call them tryouts. They bring me closer and closer to what I have on my, not even on my mind yet, but what I want to achieve. And you know, ladies, May in the past for me also used to belong to the Battle of the Beadsmiths competitions. I really loved doing them and I would love to do it again, but unfortunately I don't have enough time for it. But very often I was taking, so it was always in the spring in the past. And these days I see pictures popping up from my phone that, oh, 5 years ago, these pictures, you made these pictures. 6 years ago, you made these pictures. And now in May, all kinds of big bead embroidery projects, the ones that I have made for the Battle of the Beadsmiths, pop up in my on my phone. So if you are interested, then I would be happy to share with you work in progress pieces of pictures of my big bead embroidery pieces, so you can see how many times it happens that I have to like change the plans, I have to cut it apart. So if that is something interesting for you, then I would be very happy to share them with you. And Miriam also says that the mojo things happens to her too. And it's happening to her when she has a lot of projects that she didn't finish yet. Bon appetit, Brit Marie. And Jeannie says, is there a secret to undoing mistakes when you are using a double thread? What I do that time is that I cut my thread. I can't really go backwards because there is a big chance that I bead through the thread and it is just becoming worse and worse. I find it like it's a lot faster if I cut my thread and then I start anew. And that's why actually I like to tie lots of knots when I am embroidering, that after every sequence that I did, and when I think like, wow, okay, this will stay, sometimes it doesn't. But when I think that, okay, I am done with one part, then I tie a double knot so then I can safely cut my thread and continue with a new one. Ula says, I lose my mojo when I make something I am not happy with. I then have to frog it and make it again, or I am bored on it. Yeah, that's also time to like put it away and then return maybe later when you are again in the right mindset. And Annie says, I go back and forth from polymer clay and bead weaving when my creativity goes to sleep. That's a good idea, Annie. Bye, Belinda. And Sarah says, maybe I will make one of your bead embroidery patterns in a new colorways. It's the freeform mojo that is gone for the moment. Then do indeed something easy that can bring back the mojo, that you do something what you know that it will work out. Go easy on yourself, Sarah. As you say, play with the colors, but don't play with the shapes. And the success, the feeling of success that you've made something beautiful, it might bring back your mojo. Okay. I see that you would be interested in seeing my work in progress pictures, so I will start doing that next week. I will share for Borneo, and I can share also for Safekeeper. And Joyce says, I don't know how everyone can comment so much. I struggle to keep up with my thread tangling. I try to change colors, but coming close to your colors are the best. It is so cute. And Cheryl says, I can touch type. Being a computer geek teaches quick skills. Ginny says, sometimes I do something mindless or repetitive and it rests my mind. Then I feel like a challenge. That's a good approach, Ginny. And I see that many of you are going to have dinner, and I also finished my motif. So I would like to, Katie also has her earrings finished. So I would like to thank you all for spending your evening with me, or morning if you are in the States. And I am really looking forward to seeing your creations. Please keep posting them in the Beading School Club. Show them in the Seed Beads and More group. Please tell your fellow beaders that you have beaded it during a No One Has to Bead Alone class. And tag Beading School by Erika Sándor. And keep an eye on our site for tomorrow's giveaway. I wish you all a beautiful weekend. Lots of relaxing activities with your beads or in your garden. So thank you so much, ladies, and have a nice rest of the day. Bye-bye.